This is Dre here with another little review. This time we got the Canon 77D. This is my personal camera. I love this camera. A few people have asked me about it, and so I'm gonna let you guys know a little bit about it. First off, in the box, you're gonna get the camera itself. You're gonna get a 55mm kit lens. It feels really solid in the hands. You would think it's metal wrapped in rubber, but it's not. It's just plastic. Guess not a surprise for some people. This is the only metal part of the camera, is the connector ring. But again, the build design, I mean, it's familiar, but what I love about it is when people see you with it, they know you mean business. And it's kind of funny that they use the 77D as far as a name, because it would imply that this is a full frame camera like the 7D or the 6D. However, it's not. It's an APS-C sensor. It's 24 megapixels. I mean, photos, videos are great. I would definitely say more so the photos. Also gonna get a battery pack. It's not tethered to a USB cord. That's good or bad for different purposes. To me, it's just one less piece you got to keep up with, so I don't mind it. Gonna get a battery. This little bad boy right here will last you quite some time. You still need more though. You can never have enough batteries. Gonna get a manual. I did not read this. I do not believe many people do. I could be wrong. I recommend you read it. But just like you found me, I just jumped on YouTube, found out a few things that I liked, and tried them out. So, speaking of likes, one thing I love about this camera is the touchscreen. It's probably the best reason to own a Canon camera. I don't know when everyone else is gonna catch up and make this like the standard, but it's a no-brainer. I mean, I had an A6000 before this. I love that. It did video. I won't lie, I like the video on that better than the video on the Canon. However, the Canon's way more functional. I had to buy a separate dongle to connect my 6000 to the TV so that I could see myself if I was vlogging. It was a pain in the ass to find the cord. It was a pain in the ass to order the cord. It was a pain in the ass to wait for the cord. When it came, I then realized I had another problem. I needed a longer HDMI cord. Anyway, long story short, they have the same thing for the Canon cameras, and I'm going to test this out. This is by On. This video will be coming soon. Let's see if it works. Back to this guy. I like the system of lenses that Canon use. I don't know why, but for me personally, I found that there are just more Canon lenses secondhand than there are Sony lenses. I don't know why. I don't care why. I just know it makes it easier and cheaper to own a Canon camera. The lenses are cheaper, and like I said, they're just more readily available. So far, sit this right here, guys. So far, my favorite lens is the 1.8, I want to say this is 49 millimeter. No, yeah, 50 millimeter. 1.8, 50 millimeter, and the big difference right away, you guys could tell, is the amount of light you can see through these lenses. So this is a kit lens. This is a portrait lens. But the reason, the diameter of the circles, that's what people are referring to when they say, oh, it's a 1.8 or it's a 3.5 or etc. etc. I think this is, let me say this is 3.5 to 5.6. But anywho, you will love the photos that come from this lens. I won't even say it's camera because I owned a T5i. I've owned a Nikon D30-200 was my first DSLR ever. And they all took great pictures. But what I noticed was depending on what lens you put on them, man, it makes a huge difference. Like I could take a camera that's 20 years old and put a great lens on it and you wouldn't know it didn't come from one of today's cameras. Now, my dislikes about this camera. The Sony cameras are way faster, and I hate to bring up the competition because I love Canon. However, I am not biased, and that's just the fact. My Sony, I guess it's the mirrorless aspect of it, but it would just keep taking pictures forever. And this will too, but the difference is the initial amount of bursts you'll get. And I can show you guys, obviously I don't have a 6000 as a reference, but so I will say this, if you're going to be shooting sports, if you're going to be shooting something moving at a high rate of speed, get a mirrorless camera, period. However, if you're going to be doing portrait, family, wedding, birthdays, this guy right here, it will make you some money. So if you're looking into a camera to add to your, looking for a camera to add to your collection, to be an asset, to use it to make money, this will make you proud. I love the LCD screen at the top. It's just extra helpful. Now,
why are you giving 2 plates?
Here we go. I want to show you guys what I'm talking about. I guess I'll shoot the computer. Put this guy on high speed continuous, low speed continuous. So, all right, ready. So we got about like 6 seconds before the burst mode ran through. However, what is a huge difference is with the T5i, once I ran through that burst mode, I could only take a few more single clicks and then the camera would buffer. Whereas the Digic 7 processor in this camera allows it to just keep going. Like I have yet to exhaust it. I don't know how many, what the shutter count is to get it to just stop and buffer. But I highly doubt you'll be getting to that point in a natural setting. Also gonna get the cool little Canon strap that comes with everything that I do not use. I love the way the grip feels, so I just carry it around in my hand with the grip. It's super deep. Just to give you guys a close-up, don't mind the smudges, but I mean, if you've seen a Canon camera, you've seen a Canon camera. That's all there is to say. I will say I like the way it looks. It looks more aggressive with the 50 mil. Ooh. It looks more aggressive with the 50 mil, but in reality, I mean, we all like looks, but how does it function? And this guy works great. I've yet to have an issue to where I needed to do something and the camera just couldn't do it. I prefer the viewfinder for pictures. The touchscreen is everything. Like it, my children could use the camera just because it has a touchscreen on it.
Why don't I want to like that? So
it's smooth, it's fast. It's just like working your iPhone.
Drop some on my phone, too big.
Man, it's dope. I don't know what else to say as far as that goes. I was on dislikes. To be honest with you, it was really hard to find anything to dislike about it. The battery life is great. Again, I've used several cameras, so I definitely put it in the middle of the pack. It's not the best. However, it's going to get you through your shoot. I'd say 4 hours, 5 hours of like continuous shooting before the battery killed out on me. I've got a lot of accessories that I got offline and Walmart, various sources. And I'm going to be giving those a go just so those who own the camera and those who want to own the camera will know if this product will work with your camera. Some specs very quickly here. Of course, we talked about it. It's got 24 megapixels. That's actually the effective megapixel count. The total megapixel count from the spec sheet I've read from the Canon website is 25.8, which I thought was cool. I don't know if you only get that in RAW or I don't know when that applies. I don't know if it applies, but it's there for you. Wi-Fi certified, that's a given. Like, to be honest with you, if you're going to be spending more than $300 on a camera and it doesn't have Wi-Fi, don't buy it. It's it. Bluetooth, NFC, I mean, some cell phones don't even have that as far as the NFC goes. I hope your cell phone has Bluetooth. But high dynamic range, I love that effect. One reason why I love the Samsungs is you are able to see the effect in real time. So if any of you guys don't really know what that means or you don't care about it, I promise you it's just because you don't know. And a lot of times if you're looking at content and it looks really good, HDR is probably on. ISO up to 25,600. In photos, 12,800. In videos, it's like industry standard. I wouldn't expect any less. Hope for more, actually. 6 frames per second. I showed that to you guys. RGB metering. 7,560 pixel in that sensor, in that metering sensor. That helps a whole lot. That's one of the reasons that this camera will take better video than my iPhone. The sensor is just huge. I mean, look at your phone's camera sensor and look at the sensor on that. Like, there's no way, people will tell you, oh, you can just